All right, taking the mini boat out for a rip today. Going to take it for a good shakedown test in some smooth water. Actually running some obstacles. We're gonna have to stop and fix some stuff. So we're gonna having some fixing parts in here as well. Then after we get it fixed up, we get it back out again on another day that's just perfect. For a test drive on the boat. It was only a couple days after last time you saw it. All I really did was went through the carbs again. Basically, there was just more rust shaking around in there. And I fired this up on the trailer today, and it was perfect. But now, you know, we're in the water, so we will see exactly what she's thinking today. I can actually see the camera and get the angle right today. As you can see, she fired right up. Alright, I'm all set up. Let's see what she can do. Makes it impossible. Not sure where the steering went. The steering decided it was done. All right, we're gonna go in and check out the steering. Okay, that went pretty well. Okay, you guys can see that I added a paddle just in case it decides to stop working. And I couldn't tell you guys why the steering stopped working out there. We must have caught a stick into it or something. Okay.
Steering stopped working?
It got stuck. I just jammed it and it went, but it was really weird. I can tell that the prop right now is more for a bigger engine.
Oh, okay. Is it kind of porpoisey or is that just...
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take it for a little more of a rip and then I'll let you give it a shot.
I can hardly wait.
Oh, okay. Plenty of leg room in this thing. Idling at about 1,000 RPM. For some reason when it's running it doesn't want to turn. just completely lost the steering here. So just a minute, everybody. Spotted the problem pretty quickly. Jason spotted it. You can see down there the steering cable broke. It was catching on the aluminum thing. That's why it broke. This part was really hard to show in the boat. So this is after the fact, so I can kind of show you guys and explain. But this is the steering cable setup. This is using 2 cables connected into one. And this is the little joint that was holding them together. This, you can see this end of the cable snapped off. So that's what broke. Jason happens to have another steering cable that he's gonna grab real quick, and we'll see if we can make this thing work. So we're giving up for today. The cable's being broken, or the one cable. Jason had another cable for it. We tried to install it, but how the length of it was, the thing was pointed all the way to one side. And then having 2 cables for your turning is just an added extra complication anyways. So we're just gonna be done. I'm gonna pull it out, see if I can set it up to have just 1 steering cable instead of 2. I'm also going to take a look at the bung for, it's down there, the tilt that leaks water into the inside. And hopefully we'll get this thing sorted out, and someday hopefully Jason will get to ride it.
What's it like to drive one of these boats?
Have you ever driven the other one?
No.
Wow.
It's literally just, it's not in my destiny.
No, I'll get this one sorted out and you'll get to try it. Hopefully somebody's got a different impeller for it, because this one is got like an impeller for 1100 in it, which is, you know, obviously way too steep for this.
Change the engine or change the impeller?
Oh man. I have disassembled the throttle cable assembly on this. I keep saying throttle cable, but what I mean is the steering cable. Seat out, all this other junk out of my way. I want to go ahead and run 1 throttle cable so we can get rid of these weird plates and eliminate having what happened to me today happen again. This was set up with 2 short cables. I have no idea what these could be from. I'm gonna get these sealed up so that it's not leaking water into the boat. Throttle cable, or not, steering cable. This is the one that Jason came up with, and it's one out of like for a 550, and it's plenty long enough to do this boat. It's really old and cracked everywhere, so I'll probably end up buying a nicer one. I'm just kind of taping up all the cracks right now, because sometimes you never know if I'll forget about this or what will happen, you know? So I'll give this the best chance that it can in that respect. Well, we're coming along, probably have it out for another test ride tomorrow. Hopefully Jason will get his first chance to drive one of these mini jet boats. Here's the problem I am running into. I've got the cable hooked up in the front and strung through and hooked up in the back. The steering is straight right now, but you can see that clearly I am about 4 inches away. We are looking at needing quite a bit of an adjustment somewhere. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to achieve that with just these. I think I still do have a 2-inch extension. Yeah, I do, right here. This is for the GPR build. I ended up needing 2 different sizes. This is probably the size for this. So I could extend it out a little bit right there. So let's see if that'll take care of it. I'm not quite straight with the wheel, but I'm still off by a fair amount. That would be straight. And there you go with my extension, my 2-inch extension. So it needs to be out to there. So, you know, I could make another extension, or maybe there's some way to change the ratios up there in the front. I'm gonna take a look at that now. All right, guys, I'm really having to redo everything under the dash here, steering related and it's just kind of moving everything around. But it's all getting super confusing and such, so I'm really having to get back to the basics. So maybe this will be informative for some of you. So this is my steering cable. The other end is disconnected. This end is disconnected as well. And I'm trying to find where the center of it is, so I know where straight should be on the nozzle. So it's 3 inches to that spot there. So the center of that would be 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that, and then I'll know exactly where straight should be on my nozzle back here, and I'll get the front side set up accordingly. And this is the problems I'm running into, is like the steering will be maxed out at one way, the nozzle will be maxed out at one way. So I just need to really get everything squared up and centered up. So that would be center. So I have to extend this. It looks like that 2-inch extension will be perfect that I have. It absolutely has to have it for this to work. Alright, so here's that 2-inch extension. Actually looks like it wants a little more than a 2. Well, nah, that should be okay. So that clipped on. So what I'm doing is just kind of eyeballing the nozzle and then making sure it lines up with my thing. That way the nozzle is centered and the cable is centered. That looks good. So I just gotta tighten this nut and I'll be literally done on the back end here. And then it'll be just getting it to line up on the front part. Okay, so up under here, it's really difficult to be under here also to film, but I have my cable set in the back exactly. I have the cable set in the back exactly where it needs to be, so I have to make it hook up to that ball with some sort of bracketry so that it is exactly where it is now, meaning I can't be moving the cable at all to hook it up. I have to either use the adjustment or come up with some sort of different bracketry to move it where it needs to be. That way the cable will be centered when the craft is going straight, meaning I'll be able to turn fully to the left and fully to the right, which is the problem I keep running into with all the setup stuff here. But it's really, really difficult to work under a dash like this, so I'm not going to film this part. I had to get this end marked as well, so I can know exactly when I'm up in there where it needs to be. So you can see I've got my blue line on there all the way around. So that one's marked out. It's going to help me a lot when I'm installing it. And it looks like I'll be able to remove this Allen screw and I'll replace it with a longer bolt that will go into these. And then I can also drill another hole for the other bolt there as well. Alright, got this thing all fixed up and ready to go. We're going to take it back out on the water tomorrow, and the weather is supposed to be really good, so it should be a perfect day for testing tomorrow. Doing some testing on the boat, doing a little self-quarantine, I guess. Be out there 3.5 miles away from the nearest human, so that's pretty good. Let's see. Got all the little things taken care of on the boat, and still same impellers last time, so it's not perfect, but hopefully it runs good today. Fires up super fast on the trailer, and let's see if that translates to working well in the water. I'm really hoping that Jason gets a chance to try this today. He usually does not. He's never ridden one of the jet boats yet, which is crazy. Okay, it fired right up. Obviously that's good. need to get a different prop in this thing or a bigger engine. So we'll see. It's definitely 1100 prop on this 750. I don't think the weight of this boat is much more than the 750 this engine came out of in the first place, so that's not a problem. It's just the pump and the impeller is at 1100 in pump and impeller. It's really nice out today. There he is, Mr. Jason. He's actually going to try a jet boat for the first time in his entire life. Jason's all super pumped. This is his first aluminum boat ride. He was all like, woohoo, and I didn't have the camera going, of course. We're not in Florida, are we? Jacob's out there testing the super crash. Nice thing is, when you're not right next to that, it's not super loud. But when you're right in it, yeah, it hurts your ears. Obviously, he's giving you guys quite a show. Normally, we would film like on a buddy ski. I'd go follow him around so we get a closer shot. But as it sits, I don't have another ski in the water right now. But yeah, if you guys have seen those like Sea-Doo Spark conversion skis, they cost like $20,000. This is probably similar in size. Top speed, I'm not sure how similar, but obviously the cost is significantly lower. So if you guys want one of these, you got to start commenting below and letting Rob know, hey, I would be interested in buying one. And then let us know if you want it with or without an engine. Now we're more likely to sell with an engine because it kind of mitigates the liability that we're selling it as like a used boat. Without, it's almost like without an engine, it's almost like we're selling it as a kit, and then we kind of sort of take on some responsibility, you know, if you go out there and kill yourself with it. Look at that. Look at the size. Look at that.
So this pisser
is
like, oh, why don't you have some water on your lap every, like, what is it, left turn, right turn?
Mm-hmm.
One of the turns. So I don't think that's a great design.
Obviously that will be gone in the consumer edition of this boat.
Are we wishing we had a water box or something?
What?
Does it have a water box?
Yeah.
It just seems like it could be quieter.
That's not exhaust sound. It's just rattling around inside this aluminum hull.
Is there anything you can do about that?
We'd have to install some sound deadening
Like just
and close
something-
off the engine
close it off.
compartment and get some sound deadening going.
Well, it's pretty fun to ride, so that's great.
Yeah,
And only minor complaints.
right.
Although this idea,
And we're still in the prototype phase, guys.
prototype.
And we're working all the kinks out of
These
this.
are going to be going into mass production once we get some good prototypes done.
I was talking to them and seeing if they wanted to buy these, so.
Oh, do you guys want to buy these? Well, tell us now. Tell us now.
Yeah.
What about pedals instead of this? Would that be more fun or less fun?
Well, the problem with foot pedals is when you bounce on the seat, your foot will bounce on the throttle. Now, we could do that if we strapped into the seat. Then that wouldn't happen.
Okay.
But usually on a boat, you don't strap in case something happens. So that way you won't drown.
Yeah. What about dual engines and pod racer setup?
I mean, that's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah. Isn't that what Jacob's building?
Exactly.
At least I hope so. Okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah. It's like back spraying out of that nozzle, like really strange. Maybe we'll do a top speed with it today. Oh yeah, look at that, huh? Woo! A little bit of ocean spray on my face there. I don't want to get soaked. He's running buoys in the boat. It kind of sucks on a straight line because of the bounce, but when you're turning, it doesn't bounce anymore. Obviously something we're gonna have to get sorted out. I mean, this is just a prototype, of course. Oh, he splashed me. I don't think he wants to stop. And I don't blame him. I didn't want to stop either, but since he's never ridden any of the jet boats, I said, ah, screw it, go for it. Yeah, that was great.
Although my swimmers are a bit wet now.
Your swim trunks?
Yeah, my swim trunks. I mean my rolled up pants.
Let me take you in a bit farther. Or not.
Ah, I walked it out this far.
Ah.
Plus, they're all wet now.
Oh.
That pisser was giving me the what for.
Well, how did you like it?
It was fun. It was like, just fun, you know?
Would you like to buy one when they go into production?
How much do you think they're gonna cost?
Oh, it sounds like around the 10,000, just under 10, I think.
Do you think you get a deal on a prototype?
Well, that's just it. That's the way to go.
Yeah. I might put like a bigger engine in if I had a prototype. Oh man. Although, pretty good engine for just like fooling around. Like, you know, you could probably let Caleb drive it.
Okay, too far. All right, guys, I popped back in here. I'm out in the water. I'm actually going to take a look and see if the test track is still existing. See if it's possible to do anything with it. The danger log. And what would be the finish line? This is kind of in the way. Let me see what the end of it looks like. Whoa, boy. I was thinking about doing a lap, but not actually anymore right now. But I will blaze on out of here when I get past this. That's that log there. There's also another one under the water. Started to feel weird, so I was gonna go for a lap, but it felt weird, like the power loss or something, so I was like, nah. There you go, boys. The track is still there. It's actually in pretty good shape. Just those weird logs kind of crisscrossing the start finish. And like I said, I was gonna actually decided I was gonna hit a full lap, but then it just the power kind of felt like it went away a little bit. So, you know, I don't want to get stranded out here, so I figured I better take a look at everything, because we're still in shakedown mode. Obviously the impeller is wrong for this, which is probably getting the motor really hot to be wide open but not able to hit full RPM. So it's just operating at a high load. Obviously I beached it. I just kind of wanted to see what it would be like. I thought it'd be fun. Yeah, anyway, this is a good time. It's really nice to get out here and do some riding. Obviously it's kind of cold. It's like 55 degrees out. So I have my cold weather gear on. so I'm not getting wet, but I'm actually getting a bit too hot with this setup. You guys want to see if I can get this back in the water by myself? Oh yeah, it's not heavy. I see that as it gets caught. All right, I'll keep the camera going in case I fall, but anyways, make sure to support us if you're enjoying the videos. Obviously, leave a like on the video or any of the videos that you watch. Check out some other videos. We got a ton of good stuff. And consider grabbing some merch if you want to. So the biggest complaint on this boat is the up and down, the porpoising that it has. So here's the stock ride plate, which I have removed because we're going to do another JetSki Brothers ride plate mod. This one's going to be getting extended that much. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. All right, guys, check it out. There's the ride plate. I don't even know what to say about it. It's
so good, it's scary.
It's pretty intense. It might need some bracing. Oh, with it being way out back here. Although it is pretty strong. So there you go. Next time we ride the boat, we are going to test out this new ride plate. So you're going to want to be sure to check that out. Guys.